My colleague Carmel Sepuloni having this bill drawn from the ballot, and I think it's very timely given the Prime Minister's announcement at the National Party conference that they were going to be extending the 90-day trial period to all workers throughout New Zealand. And I think it's really interesting to look at the justification he used for that at the National Party conference. In fact, the deliberately delayed Department of Labour research report on the current 90-day trial provisions, and his using that to justify the move to extend it to all wage and salary earners. Well, first of all, what I want to say about that report, Mr Speaker, is it was extremely unbalanced. 3,532 employers were contacted as part of that report, and 13 employees. How unfair is that? That kind of methodology is not going to uncover the real impact of the 90-day trial law. But even with that imbalance, the report provides some really interesting evidence, well, a lack of evidence actually, to back up the Prime Minister's claim that this should be extended to all workplaces. And I want to address a couple. My colleague Carmel has addressed the issue about the claim that it will provide jobs for disadvantaged people. Well, we know from that report, 72% of people who got jobs under the 90-day trial period were Pākehā. The numbers who were Māori and Pacifica was very, very small. And actually, employers said that very few of them used the provisions for hiring workers that they may not have hired in other cases. And actually, they were focused on hiring the most suitable candidate. And the Minister and the Prime Minister keep saying that the 90-day trial period can only be entered into by written agreement. Now, I've spoken to someone today, and her name is Tyler Howard. She's 24. She got a job in an Auckland laundromat. After some months, she was laid off, and then she was re-employed a few months later. Now, like the situation for so many workers, there was no written agreement, and that's what the report shows, is so few, even though the law requires a written agreement, so few employers bothered with that, and nothing said about the 90-day period. In fact, in her case, she shouldn't have been on a 90-day period because she was re-employed. The law says that they can't do that, but she was, under the Nationals Fire at Will Act. Anyway, she turned up to work one day and she was told that she was being let go. Don't come Monday. She was being let go, and it was because of the 90-day trial period. Now, Tyler didn't even know she was on a trial. She hadn't heard anything about it. She shouldn't have been on a trial because the law says she shouldn't. But this law has given employers the impression that they can use the 90-day trial period with impunity. With impunity. Another worker I heard from the last 2 days is a woman called Loretta, who says in her email, "I am one of the people that was on the 90-day trial period. The 90 days came up and I got a phone call from someone ringing up about my job advertised in the paper. Advertised in the paper. I went to my boss and asked him what was going on, as I didn't even know my job was coming to an end. He told me I didn't have enough experience, which he knew when he employed me. Now I'm unemployed, desperately looking for work." Now, the report, the government's own report, that they delayed quite deliberately until the National Party conference as a means to try and justify extending this to all workplaces, shows categorically. I'm happy to provide the evidence. And as that minister, as that member, are you saying that my word isn't what I'm saying in this House? Are you just name the company? I'm happy to name the company. I will name the company. I'm happy to provide that evidence, and I have many, many more examples which I'm happy to use in the next couple of days. But in summary, Mr Speaker, look, this report, the National Party's own report, commissioned by the Department of, used by the Department, or exposed by the Department of Labour, shows that employers actually have been using this law as a means of employing people to avoid responsibilities rather than to create jobs. It hasn't created jobs for disadvantaged workers. It's certainly, there are many, many instances in that report, if the members care to read it, of employers not even following the very, very lightweight requirements that are already in the law. For example, having to have something written down in an agreement.
Well done. Cool.